What's a dog breed you wouldn't own and why? Huskies are too high maintenance and too loud for me, but they are super adorable. Any breed with well-known breathing issues like pugs or French bulldogs. Also, any extremely high-energy breed like Belgian Malinois or Huskies. They're good fits for some people, but I am not one of those people. Shelties. They're cute, but their drive to herd things drives me crazy. My MIL had two and they would nip at my legs to try and get me to go where they wanted. Once, I saw them trying to herd the chairs around the dining room table. They are little nuts if they aren't given work to do. My wife is a vet tech at a critical care facility. I hear all the horror stories. Dogs I would not want to own. Large breeds with resultant short lifespans, Mastiffs. Breeds with breathing problems, Pugs, English Bulldogs. Breeds with known health issues, King Charles Spaniels, Boxers. And finally, personal preference breeds that require a lot of care and feeding, pun intended, Belgian Malinois, Border Collie, Huskies, Bernese Mountain Dog, St. Bernards. Huge Dane. Although they are the kindest of giants, they have serious heart and health problems due to their size, eat too much, poop too much, and don't live very long. In conclusion, the maintenance cost is just too high for me. Belgian Malinois because I am way too lazy to keep up with the intensity they bring. I also can't own a dog smarter than me. Akitas BC. They are one-person dogs and if you aren't that person, you'll get nothing from them but indifference. I just want a dog that is nice and will live forever. I look at my 4-year-old lab and have to cry thinking she won't be here with me one day, loudly crying face. Huskies. I don't want a dog that talks back constantly and destroys my house. I think beagles are the cutest, but holy shit they are loud. I'm reading these comments as a dog mom of a Great Dane mix who turns 10 in January and I'm so sad now remembering that his life isn't expected to last much longer. White frowning face. Luckily he's healthy, happy, and still has a ton of energy. French bulldogs, or any dog breeds with breathing issues, they end up living a bit of a sad life. Probably any dog that suffers from overbreeding like pugs. I also wouldn't buy a puppy from Kijiji regardless the breed. Jack Russells and Minute Pins, way too high energy for my liking. Anything with a double coat undercoat that needs to shed out. I do not have the time or patience for that kind of grooming, but I also always have to pick at the little clumps that come out and the dog would hate me. Also anything brachycephalic. I might rescue one, but I'd never pay for one in any way that would encourage a breeder to make more of them. Dogs should be able to breathe. Malinois. I've had dogs all my life and I know enough to know I wouldn't be able to train one the way they need to be trained. Don't get me wrong, they are incredible dogs but should only be owned by really experienced handlers. I watched a pit bull rip my grandma's chihuahua. It was the most awful experience of violence I've seen in my 30 years on earth. The dogs were best buds for years too, it was so random and quick. Nothing could have been done. I'll never be around a pit bull again as they're prone to these incidents. Trauma doctors say they do more damage than any other dog and account for roughly 80 of hospital dog bites. Pit bulls. I know plenty of people have them without issues, but I just wouldn't want to deal with a dog that's so prone to anxiety, and the results of that anxiety reactivity would be devastating. I work at the hospital and the worst bites are almost always either from pit bulls or some sort of bully breed mix or German shepherds. It's so common to the point that the hospital staff will take bets on what breed type of dog it is. Also, I just really don't like box-headed looking dogs with huge, wide jaws. It's just not physically appealing to me, and I don't find them cute at all. Definitely pit bull. It ripped my friend's dog into pieces. I'd never want a pit bull, French bulldog, pug, anything big like a German shepherd, not a fucking doodle either. Basically I like dogs but I just want a Brussels Griffon. Or a Shih Tzu or a Boston Terrier. Edit to add Jack Russells. Yappy assholes. Belgian Malinois, because the dog would be too strong for me, mentally. We had 2 boxers over the years while I was growing up, and when they got too sick for their quality of life to be even acceptable, one I had to carry outside and hold her up so she could do her business. Spinal disease caused way too much pain. I was the one that had to be there when they were put to sleep cause my mom and brother refused. Hardest thing I ever had to do. Twice. I will never own a dog again. Dachshund because chronic pain. I knew a girl who was killed by a pit bull. So, pit bull. Probably a pit bull. I don't have anything against the dogs, but I rent, and every apartment I've had in the last 10 years has had a stipulation that said no pit bulls. It would just be hard to find a place to live. Pit bull, too unstable. My Mills dog was almost killed by one the neighbors swore was a gentle baby. The wife next door had her finger bitten off by theirs. That one though was aggressive and scary. A guy I worked with was fostering one. He'd had it for 3 months when his 8-year-old son came home from school and was attacked. He opened the gate to go in the yard and the dog attacked. Had 80 stitches in his face and multiple surgeries. Matt said up to that point there was nothing to suggest the dog would do that. Doodles. I worked at a doggy daycare. Every 3rd dog that came through the door was a doodle. They were all assholes. Pit bulls or any dog bred for aggression. Humanity has been trying to breed aggression out of wolves' dogs for centuries. Except for the misguided few that are pulling in the wrong direction. Pit bull and insurance. Not saying I don't like them. Just isn't worth the risk. Mastiff or Great Dane because of their limited lifespan. Dogfish. Finding a collar that fits is impossible. French bulldogs. They are predisposed to many health issues due to years of unethical breeding methods like spinal problems, breathing difficulties, etc. I wouldn't be able to bear to see a Frenchie suffer if I would own one. I just can't. Pit bulls and German shepherds, the majority I've been around have been aggressive. Any dogs that are bred to the point where they have inherent health problems, pugs, Great Danes, etc. It's just cruel to keep breeding them IMO. Any type of brachycephalic breed, pug, English bulldogs, French bulldogs, boxers, etc. Not only do I not want to support the poor breeding of these dogs, I also do not like the snoring and 24/7 pig noises. Border Collie. I have them and love them. They're too smart for the average pet owner. They're great, but not for the average pet owner. They require a lot of attention and stimulation. Quirks. They have them all. Edit. They are the best dog ever. You'll never have the connection to another breed like a Border Collie. Pugs. Ugly inbred asthma attacks on legs. For the love of God, stop breeding them. A pit bull, because I don't want an objectively terrible dog that everyone is afraid of, and I'd also like to be able to purchase homeowner insurance one day. Pit bull. Pit bull. Any sort of pit bull. Pit bull. I have children and not worth the risk. I'd never own a husky. Independent dog breeds like huskies and chow chows. Some people prefer independent dogs. I like dogs who are eager to please. Makes training much easier. Non-retro pug. Squished faces with poor breathing and the potential to pop their eyes out, and generally just not an aesthetic I want to support. Also the really, really big dogs with lots of problems who only tend to live like 5 years. We never get enough time, but that's far too little time. Some American pit bulls can be dangerous even if in the right family. Speaking of pit bulls, why is it the breed of choice for people in less than affluent areas? Pugs, the way they're bred is just cruel. They can hardly breathe.